Hey everybody. So today there was something that felt really strong on my heart that I really wanted to talk about. And what that is when we go through life and we have what I consider a blueprint or a map or guideposts essentially that we have accrued and accumulated from people in our life, our predecessors, so to speak. And with that, we carry that into our reality, and that informs the way that we interpret experiences and life situations, relationships, our roles in them, other people's roles, and the likelihood of our successes or lack thereof. A lot of that is filtered through definitions that you have adopted as your own, as true, based on what you've chosen to believe that other people have told you that you value, love, and respect, and most likely have gotten love from them in order to survive, aka our parents, our family, our community, etc. And oftentimes friends, society, all of that, which is considered cultural conditioning. So many of us have gone through this type of cultural conditioning. And this cultural conditioning can go by unnoticed sometimes. And a person can just live their life thinking that their life is their life by their creating. But what they actually don't realize is that their life is happening based on what thoughts and beliefs that they are choosing to take on in their lives. So, for instance, one of the things that I love excavating and exploring and diving deeper into when it comes to this is relationships. And one of the things that I noticed is that there was this subconscious belief in my mind that, for some time in my past had gone unchecked. And one of the things that I realized was I didn't actually believe this. And once I got clear on that and I realized, wow, this was a pattern that was kind of imprinted on me, but that I saw the flaw of it and the frailty of it, that I chose to make a different choice and to have different values and to create a different thing in my relationship. Now, what this belief was is that the woman um, was there to receive, and the woman was there to be loved unconditionally, the way that God loves the church. That was the analogy that I was always given, and this was something that my mom's parents taught her. Um, and then also that the man should kind of suppress his emotions so that the woman can feel peace or happy, so that she's never upset. The man shouldn't get angry. He shouldn't treat her, any way other than nice, kind, and polite. And he should make it his sole mission and his purpose to make her happy. And she should perform her wifely duties, um, and was not really taught the gift of pleasure for oneself as a woman, and the gift of sexuality and sensuality in relationships. So this is not to say anything is wrong, but this is like when we evaluate what we've been taught or the subconscious patternings that came along with our upbringing, we can look at it and reevaluate it and say, does this work for me? So I noticed, wait, I never actually vocalized this or put this into words before, that this was something that, my grandparents being very strictly Christian and more conservative, these were their beliefs and values, and dancing was wrong, not appropriate. Dancing always led to sex. That was what they thought. Now, they may have never said it like that, but that was more the perspective. Um, Instead of embracing that dancing and sensuality was beautiful and a wonderful, natural, acceptable part of your personality. So I realized that in relationships before, I had given very little effort into the relationship because I thought that it was the man's job and role to provide and I was to receive, and that it was his nature to work really hard to earn me. That I didn't have to work hard to earn him being in my life, that I was the gift. Now, I think there are some women who have a completely opposite perspective and they overgive to try to earn their man, and they would need the perspective that I had, that they are the gift. So it's always about balance. It's always about looking at the beliefs and are they serving you, and then how can you grow and expand to create balance in your life. So for me, then I realized, wait a second, I'm not giving as much as my partner is giving. Now, when I talk about giving, I'm not just saying doing the things that come natural to you, that are exciting to you, that are fun to you. Like for me, being there emotionally and spiritually to support someone and whatever they're going through is a joy for me, because that's my profession. That's what I do. That's what I'm here for. Making someone that I love food is something that I'm super passionate about. And that is a gift, but it's something that, I have the love for doing that even if they are there or they are not there. So it's not a real gift, because I think a gift in a way, it's growing in a way that's sometimes uncomfortable for the greater purpose of expansion in your partnership. So I realized with my fiance that, we've been together for 2 years now. And what I'm realizing is that I invest so much in this relationship. And he invests so much in this relationship. And it hit me, like it really landed inside of me that, wow, I am investing and putting in just as much as he is putting in. And sometimes I give more, sometimes he gives more. But the beautiful thing is that there's balance. And that's what's super important. There's sun shining out here. I'm just blocking from the heat a little bit. I need like an umbrella or something. Um, but yeah, so it's a really beautiful realization to recognize that, wow, that didn't actually work for me. That's not something I want to create. And I noticed this when there was a time on his birthday, I was trying to book this couples massage for us. And I had booked it, but the massage therapist had to go home out of state to be with her family for a family emergency. So I'm stuck the day of trying to find this spa a spa that we could go to get a couples massage for his birthday. I called 40 different places to get a massage. All of them were booked, every single one. So by the 30th person I was calling, I'm in tears like, is, is there someone who can possibly massage us for a couples massage? Like crying because I was so heartbroken and devastated, but I kept going. Like I kept persevering. And actually, that's something that I've really deepened and grown in within myself. I think that's largely because of the presence and the qualities that my fiance now brings into our relationship. One of his strengths, I want to make sure my phone's not getting too hot. One of his strengths that he brings into our relationship is his determination and how hard he's willing to work to provide, anything that it is that I need. And so that's inspired me to also recognize, he probably also wants to receive everything that he could possibly need from me as well. And that's been super exciting and beautiful. And also, just seeing in my immediate experience of relationships with that pattern of everything that I talked about, and those relationships didn't work out. The man was left feeling unfulfilled, like his needs weren't met, like he wasn't being nurtured on that deep level, and there wasn't sensuality present. And the woman was feeling like, she wasn't heard, her emotions weren't honored, and she had things that she needed that weren't being met. So clearly there was a miscommunication there, and things weren't lining up. So what we have to look at, I've talked about this in previous videos, is what is our unconscious belief and our subconscious belief, essentially, that we are projecting into any and all of our experiences. Now, we project these into our experiences, and that's where dissatisfaction comes in, that's where frustration comes in, that's where disappointment comes in. It comes in because we have this expectation about how someone in our lives should or shouldn't behave based on our expectations. Now, the one key point here is that we usually don't tell them. We usually don't tell them what our unconscious and subconscious beliefs about how a relationship should be and is. We usually don't tell them. And we kind of keep that more inside because we haven't fully explored it. We haven't fully explored what it actually means to us. And I'm just noticing that my face is like kind of washed out because of the sun, so I'm trying to create some contrast here. So bear with me. But yeah, so that is, a big part of relationships is communicating your subconscious expectations. And when you actually communicate that, that's when you create the clarity to see, oh, do I actually believe this? Do I actually want this? Or is this just something that I was programmed and conditioned to expect and to want? Like that the man always has to take out the trash, that the woman is supposed to do this or that, or that relationships should look like this. But getting curious, what would a perfect relationship for you look like? And how can you create that? How can you communicate about that and request for that? So that's all available. And the real beauty here for me was seeing the value in kind of letting go of roles and paradigms and all these perspectives that essentially can be called limiting beliefs and that actually are not serving creating true union. And that's what I'm all about, creating true union, creating beautiful spiritual partnership where both people feel fully seen, fully met, fully heard, fully honored, and that it is a win-win for all people. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed that and that you're able to look and get curious. Are there any ways in your life that you I feel so funny putting my arms up like this, but I have to create shade. Are there any ways in your life that you are having some unconscious beliefs that is affecting the way that you relationship, the way that you interact with people, the way that you get disappointed, or that you are expecting things that don't happen, but is that actually the things that you need? And could you be happier if you made a list of non negotiables, things that you really value, things that you really want, and committed to growing and stretching and changing in ways that maybe feel uncomfortable, but that are actually for your betterment? So I hope you enjoy that, and I hope you have an amazing day. And thanks so much for tuning in with me. Bye.